Now, I'm not usually a modern car fanatic. I really like the older stuff, and I don't like electric cars and hybrid cars and all that.
Oh my god!
However, recently I got to drive a brand new car, a 2026 model car. I got to drive the Toyota BZ4X at work, and I thought I would give you a review on it. Now, I drove a 2026 BZ4X, which is a very varied car depending on which version you go for. Of course, I was driving a front-wheel drive base model version of this car, which has 224 horsepower. It has a top speed of 160 kilometers an hour and it develops 268 newton meters of torque. That's 197 foot-pound for you Americans. Apparently it has a range of 568 kilometers, but if I was to be honest, I haven't seen it do that. Now, the journeys in this car that I've done have been very varied in how the road is. We've had some motorway driving, we've had some town driving, and we've had some back road driving. So, let me give you two this way. I did this journey up and down twice, Galway to Castlebar to Galway again, with 10% battery left. That's about 350 miles. Recent years where I've been very critical of modern car design and all of this, Toyota is one of the brands I still actually have a soft spot for. This car has a lot of specs with it, there's a lot of stuff you can do. And also, unlike most electric cars where all the batteries are under the floor, there are some near the front, which means you still have a big boot. That boot capacity being 16 cubic feet or 450 liters, if you want to be specific. The only thing that really bothers me is the weight. It weighs 2 tons. It is heavy, but despite this, it still somehow manages to go from 0 to 100 in 7.4 seconds. Obviously, that is subjective to the trim you buy, whether it's front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, whatever. I also happen to think the engine name is very funny. Separately excited synchronous motor. Charging is also pretty good. If you use a charger that is 150 kilowatt rated, it will take only 30 minutes to charge to 80%. If you use a 50 kilowatt charger to 80%, it only takes an hour and 25. And even if you use a wall box, it only takes 7 hours, whereas a car in the same range will probably take 10 hours. It has front and rear vented brakes, which is obviously kind of a more standard thing nowadays, but if you're a car guy like me, this is strange because most cars of the age don't have that. They just have normal brake discs. Next thing we have to look at is price. Of course, prices vary depending on where you're looking and what country you're in. I'm going to compare the Ireland and UK market because that is the best comparison I have when it comes to being near those countries. So the Irish market's always a bit more. It's always going to be in fact, extortionately more because Irish cars are so much more expensive here. Let's take into account this second-hand one. This is a 2024 model, if I remember correctly. This one is going for 31,950 with a mileage of 37,337, which is actually average for one of these. They do tend to come with about 40 to 30,000 kilometers on them now, so that's pretty okay for a second-hand one. One owner as well, and it's a trusted dealer. Now let's look at a UK one. This is second-hand once again, and this is up north in Northern Ireland. This is a similar car, 37,000 kilometers. This is a 2024 by the looks of things, 2023. Similar mileage, similar condition, 22,955 pounds. This is pretty reasonable, once again, and it's below average kilometers for a 2023, which is pretty cool to see. As of recording this video, it's very hard to find a 2026 plate version of this car, however we can find a load of 2025s. So these are basically new cars, they've just still not been sold yet. So let's look at them. These will be discounted slightly, of course, because they haven't been sold and they're still pretty much new. So this one has 383 kilometers on it. It's a 2025 plate up the north in Northern Ireland in Fermanagh, as you can see here. It has got £29,990 as the price. For a 2025 car that hasn't moved yet, that's not bad. That's clearly discounted. Now, if we look for one that is in Ireland, I will quickly find one. This is a Toyota approved 2025 car from Ireland. As you can see, it's a 2025 plate car. Is the 11 kilowatt version, and it is 40,950. Now, with 7,400 kilometers of demo miles, that's not too bad, you know? This has been out for a year with a company or whatnot, so they've sold it back to the dealership how you would expect. Now, if we are to look at Toyota's website, we will see that the BZ4X, the electric version, is starting at 42,160. Now, we're going to look at how we would build one of these cars. Now, this is the version I bought. This starts at 42,460 with this color. Now, the color, these two colors are free if I remember correctly. The black and the navy. These are the two colors you kind of want. The red is kind of cool. It looks cool on this car, but would you pay the extra? No. This as well, I wouldn't pay the extra because I don't actually like the color. This as well, this is just primer. If you look at this in real life, which I have seen one of these in real life in this color, it isn't as nice, and I wouldn't recommend getting any other color than the two base ones. And then we look at the Premier Monotone, which has only the two basic colors, which is cool because these are the colors I would go for. If I was to go for one of these and I had the money, I would probably go for the Premier Monotone. Then we have the Premier Bitone, which is a two-tone variant of the same car with two of the paints. Now this has all the paints I don't like on it. I probably wouldn't go for this version. However, we're gonna go and explore and configure the base model. Now let's look at a two-wheel drive version. Now the colors, yes, we're gonna go for basic paints, which, you know, they're cheaper. Why would you spend more? Look at it, 1,105. These are both the cheapest colors. Actually, they're the best colors in my opinion. I like the black because it matches with the plastic panels, and I like the blue because it also complements the plastic panels. These wheels are actually the ones I had when I drove this car, and they're actually kind of nice. I prefer these to the actual nice specification wheels. Upholstery, there is kind of only one option, but it is kind of the nicest one in my opinion. Now, there is not a lot you can change with this car. Obviously, this electric car is pretty much how it goes now. Midnight Blue is probably the best color in my opinion. It would be the one I picked. It's metallic as well, so you get the metallic fee. This comes in at 42,160 with the wheels and everything. So in my opinion, this is a pretty cool car. Now the final thing I want to talk about is how it drives. Let's just say it drives like an electric RAV4. The Toyota RAV4 is a pretty good car, especially nowadays, as a hybrid model. I think this actually does fit it quite well. It just feels like a big electric RAV4. I don't like how heavy it is. It is huge. When you're driving it, you feel like you're in a Cadillac Escalade or something of the sorts. In Europe, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. However, it isn't too bad. We can live with it, and you know, I have to work with it, so I have to put up with it for the next however long anyways. Would I have one though? No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably have a Renault 5, the new one, because I think that is the coolest car you can currently buy on the market. That or the Renault 4 or the Renault Twingo that is coming out next year. Does that mean this is a bad car? No, not at all. I've driven it a lot and I enjoy it, so it must be good. But would I own one personally now in the current age, the current climate, and the current prices of everything? No. Maybe if it was priced lower 10 years before, maybe I would have bought one. But no, I wouldn't have one now. And I definitely wouldn't have one in the future as my personal vehicle. Over the past few months, I've really struggled to kind of find the will to make anything. So I thought this was a perfect solution, and obviously you don't have to listen to this bit. It's kind of boring. The reasons are kind of boring. I just get burnt out very easily. The gaming content I kind of fell out of love with, and I felt it was time for change. Making something that you guys can enjoy, but I also enjoy making, is kind of what I wanted to do. I also don't have to worry about the viewership or anything like that. I can just worry about making it to enjoy it. It also means I can make it at my own pace. So if I don't feel like making the video one day, I won't make it. And I'll do it the next day, the day after that, whenever I feel like it. So it makes it very easy to make content without having to worry about an upload schedule, without having to worry about uploading every single week like I have been trying to do, and it makes it much easier. There will still be content about video games, but maybe not so much on video games. And of course, there is still Twitch. I haven't streamed in a while, but I would like to stream a bit more in the next coming weeks. So, you know, maybe we'll stream something and maybe we'll have a bit of fun on stream. You never know. But the plans I had before have kind of changed. My ideas have changed, and to be honest, I wasn't enjoying making the content and I was kind of forcing myself to. I think this will be much better.